Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Poland Daily Travel. On There's a Will. We've got an exciting series of episodes for you coming right up. My guests in the studio, the inimitable. That means that, what does that mean?
Can't be imitated.
Can't be imitated. That's right. You told me to say that. Yeah. And Nicholas Richardson.
Thank you for having me again, Will.
We're not related, right?
We're not related. Thank God we're not related, no.
And definitely the inimitable, did I say that right?
Yeah.
The inimitable Mihoe Sano. Mihashi.
Mihasha.
Mihasha.
Albo Mihoe.
Mihoe?
Yeah.
Mihoe?
Mihoe.
Mihoe?
Okay.
I can't say it too fast. You have to say it a bit slower.
You can call me Mihasha.
Mihasha. Oh, I like that. It's like a diminutive. It's like a nicer, sweeter name, right?
Yeah. Also, I know it's my pen name when I wrote about Poland.
You write about Poland? Well, we'll get to that. I didn't know. You didn't tell me. I know you're a journalist, but you didn't tell me
I'm not a journalist.
You're writing in Poland or in?
No. I write about Poland for Japanese media.
For Japanese media. We're going to get to that. That'll be exciting. You're exactly the right person for this show. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you very much.
How did I know that? And not only are you a journalist, you have many skills.
Not a journalist, copywriter.
You're a copywriter.
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people nowadays think that just because you can type, you're a journalist.
Yes, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can type, therefore I'm a journalist.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything bad about a millennial, because Mihoe is only 29 years old here.
Gosh.
You know? What?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Mihoe, a lot of people, we're going to get to paczkis.
Yes.
Because you're a paczki expert, you bake these, and I've heard fabulous comments about your paczkis, that they're amazing.
Yeah.
And we like a donut, at least I do, I'm American. Do you like a donut?
I do like a donut, yes.
And he's English, and he likes a donut. Okay, I'm glad we got that out. And you've got your hula hoops.
Yes.
Which is, you're a hula hoop enthusiast.
Yeah, it's a kind of just hobby, but it is good. I know when I eat a lot of paczki, after that I do hula hoop. It is going to the calories gone.
The calories go away.
Yes.
You chase them away with your hula hooping.
Yes.
I think it's amazing.
It is a very good combination.
You have some films of hula hooping, don't you?
Yeah.
That you can send me. Yeah, we'll put those in.
Yeah.
Because we have trouble hula hooping in the studio.
Mm-hmm. All this valuable equipment.
Oh,
yeah, that is good.
Our green screen will make you look like an alien if you start to hula.
Yes, exactly.
So we can't really do that. We can do push-ups though on the table. Nick, you ready?
Yep.
No, we're not going to do any.
No, thank God for that.
Okay. At any rate, you were on a previous episode, Mihoe, because we ran into you in the park.
Yes.
In Wilanów.
Yes.
You were hula hooping.
Yes.
And then you nicely hula hooped for us on Poland Daily Travel, and it was a lot of fun. The crew was dying of laughter.
Oh.
And they thought it was funny. And that's what that means. And they didn't really die. But not really.
Yeah, of course.
And then you walked around with us in Wilanów. And remember how I made the rain stop?
Yes, of course.
Poland Daily Travel in the rain on a beautiful day. Oh, and as I say that, it's almost as if I can command the waters.
I never knew I had such power.
It was raining, and I said, "Ah,
It was later?
stop."
Oh, yes,
It was
yes,
later,
yes.
right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, "Stop, rain," and it stopped, didn't it?
Yes, yes, you are God.
What? Don't say that. You get me in
Kind
trouble.
of.
Let's not
Don't say that.
exaggerate.
Nah, I'm just lucky. It's better.
Yes, yes, or just
As far as human beings go, lucky
Magician.
is good. Lucky is good. So I think we're going to get to each of these subjects, which deserve long commentary. What did you find the most shocking? Because I was looking on the internet about the most shocking things about people coming to Poland. Okay? And I was wondering, what did you find shocking or really, it's not really shocking. They say things are shocking like the language is difficult. Well, that's not shocking. It would be shocking if people were, polar bears were chasing naked people down the street. That would be shocking, I think.
Yes.
Or
But it would make great television.
it would make great television. Or pigeons were hunting human beings. That would be shocking. But I don't think the language is difficult.
Yes, it is very difficult.
And you're Japanese, right?
Yes,
And
yes,
you say
yes.
that
Yes, yes,
that
yes,
it's difficult.
yes, yes.
How difficult is how difficult is it related to Japanese? do you think?
Actually, nothing is similar to Japanese and Polish. And today I saw his nice, fashionable thief.
He's
And
always dapper.
It's a bear.
And
so I was
he's a
thinking,
good-looking guy.
bear
Yeah.
in Polish is niedźwiedź.
Niedźwiedź, bear.
Yes, but I can't. DG is very difficult for us.
You say it, Nick.
What?
You can
Niedźwiedź.
say niedźwiedź.
Niedźwiedź.
Is that correct? I don't even know if that's correct.
I don't know if that's correct.
Niedźwiedź.
Niedźwiedź.
That sounds Russian now.
Niedźwiedź.
Good Lord, I'm sure there are people out there who could. If you're laughing at home,
Yes, good. We have succeeded.
Yeah.
then we've entertained you with our bad
Our
Polish.
language is difficult. I mean, they are technically difficult, but if you have to speak it, then you speak it eventually.
Yeah.
And whether it's difficult or not, that doesn't actually make any difference to your ability to speak it, I think. A lot of it is, if it's very easy, you're more inclined to learn it because it takes less effort to learn it. But just because the language is difficult, it all depends on the circumstances.
But is it shocking, the language? It's not
No.
shocking, it's just difficult.
It's not shocking.
I remember when I first came to Poland, all I heard was zhuzh, 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 zhuzh. That was the sound. It was like this continuous, and I was dizzy. It made me dizzy. I said, I will never get to a point where I can understand this, let alone speak it.
But you do understand it.
I do now, but it 95%, I suppose. But it took a long time. My God, I should know it by now.
We all should be much
We all
better.
should be much better. If you bow, have you ever bowed to
Well,
a
I
Japanese
haven't, because the
person?
problem with bowing is in Japanese, it's very complicated. The angle at which you bow means a
Yes,
lot.
yes, it's
and if you're not
45.
Japanese, the tendency is you may not bow far enough, in which case you insult the person you're bowing to.
Good
so
Lord.
I've been told it's always...
I remember you told me that.
It's always better, I think, if you're not skilled in Japanese bowing, just to shake hands in the normal way, actually.
Yeah, 'cause
otherwise
you
you
don't
risk
wanna-
giving offence, which would be a terrible thing.
Because you're doing a sort of Charlie Chaplin
yeah, and
imitation.
you wouldn't get the angle quite right, you see.
Yes.
Yeah, and let's face it, you don't want them to attack Pearl Harbor over such a... you upset the wrong guy.
Well, exactly.
And pretty soon.
The sort of thing over which people go to war.
I'm just
of course.
kidding you. I don't think you're going to attack Pearl Harbor. Of course, I didn't think you were going to attack the first time either. Great Scott, what you people are very, good Lord, ambitious.
You're losing your earpiece again.
Yeah, I'm losing my earpiece. I always do. Okay, that's better. Now, our last thrilling installment of Poland Daily Travel here in the studio, on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in downtown Warsaw, we were talking about a word. Does anybody remember the word?
Yes, I remember. I'm just trying to...
The word for bear. And meanwhile, the producer had a word in my ear, literally.
Yes, he did.
That's an English idiom. Did you know that? I have a word in your ear?
No.
You didn't know that. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I don't want you to have nightmares. But you might, right? The last time I told you an idiom, you went crazy. But what was that? Never mind. He said it's dźwiedź, dźwiedź, and just put nie. It's not, or not a dźwiedź. So
Yes.
nie dźwiedź.
Yes.
And I think I almost said that reasonably literately, so that somebody could understand it who's Polish. Of course, Nicholas, you didn't understand that.
No.
No,
It's not a word I'd heard before, but maybe that goes to my ignorance rather than the strangeness of the word.
Yes, indeed. So what else is shocking? We were talking about shocking things in Poland. Language was one, and niedźwiedź was a word that we were using as an example of, it means bear, of an example of a word that is a tongue twister, like many of them. What else do you find, not shocking, but certainly surprising about Poland? The difference between Poland and Japan?
Difficult question. Mostly...
I'm supposed to ask good questions.
Really?
No.
You're supposed to, but you never quite manage it.
I never quite get there. So I was shocked that she said that.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Shocked? Actually, nothing shocked. Just I have good impression.
You just had a good impression. But
Yeah.
why did you choose to come to Poland? I mean, here you are, a nice Japanese lady, from Tokyo, assuming that you were doing very well there. You're a journalist, and et cetera, come from a fabulously wealthy family. And don't you own Mount Fuji? That's what you told me before. Never mind. That was somebody else. And what attracted you to Poland then?
Actually, I don't know. Just I felt, I love this country.
You
I
love
don't
it,
know.
yeah.
I don't know why. But just yeah. I
You
like
just
it.
loved the country.
Yes, of course. That is why I come here.
But how did you know that you loved the country? It's like, why did you start going out with that lady or that man?
Yeah.
I just loved him. But if you didn't know him, how did you know you loved him?
Just the beginning is it's like a coincidence. I was planning going to visit my friend in Copenhagen and Stockholm. But Stockholm friend said that she became busy, so I couldn't come to her place. So, but Copenhagen friends said, okay. But, I was, flight from Japan to Europe is expensive. So I was looking for one more destination. But this is coincidence place. But I was thinking about my travel plan in front of my Polish friend. She speaks fluently Japanese.
You had a Polish friend?
Yes,
Yeah.
in Japan, yes.
In Japan, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, she came back to Poland already. And so when I was thinking, where should I go? And she talked to me, you are going to Copenhagen. Why don't you come to Warsaw? It is close. At that time, I didn't know where is Poland exactly. It's something in Europe.
Somewhere in Europe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I checked them up. It is close. Okay, I take your plan. So I came here just for 3 nights. But I don't know why I'm so impressed here. Next year, I come here for 2 weeks. And I think, I like this country very much.
Interesting. Yeah.
And after I come back to Tokyo, I started to organize Polish event in Tokyo, like Pączki night or pierogi night, or something like that. And the more I know Poland, the more I love Poland. And 2016, I come here for 2 months. And I decided I should move to here because this country is so nice. I really like Poland. Yeah, it is a bit ridiculous plan, but because...
No, it's not ridiculous because I know a lot of people. I think you described something which is fairly common in my experience, which is that you have friends, Polish friends, and you like them, so they say to you, come and visit.
Yeah.
Come and see the country. Because I had the same situation. My first time I came here, of course, you knew about Poland. You read about it in the news, and you knew the history. You knew some of the famous people, the Sienkiewicz and things like that, and the writers and the movies and all those kind of things. Nobel Prize winners, Madame Curie, Chopin, et cetera, the usual. But then the other thing is a lot of people just came here by accident, I noticed.
By accident.
Like you, in a way. So I didn't come here by accident. I came here definitely to write a story when I was living in London. But you came here to work.
I came
you
here
had
to
a
work,
job,
yes, yeah.
that was waiting for you. Yeah. As a lawyer, right?
Correct.
With a big law firm. And so that's another one. People come here on a corporate thing.
Yeah,
there used to be, this used to be a certain, a very definite way in. What did you find, though? Okay, we know the language is difficult. Anything else you find surprising? I mean, you're intelligent, you're a journalist, and you're an intelligent observer, so maybe you're not so easily shocked, but is there anything? No sumo? Was that a problem?
No, I was surprised. A lot of Polish people can speak Japanese.
Mm-hmm. Can do what?
Many Polish people can speak Japanese.
They can?
They can, yes. And they speak really good Japanese. Pronunciation is almost perfect.
Yeah, because for a Polish person,
Yes, yes.
Japanese is easy.
Yes, I
English
understand.
they learn English in their sleep, I think. You know,
Yes,
here.
yeah.
It's incredible to me, the facility with languages. Mihoe, and previously we were talking about things that were very surprising. We talked about language, and we talked about, well, what else? We learned the word niedźwiedź.
Niedźwiedź.
Yeah, which is not a dźwiedź.
Yes, but nobody can tell us what a
But nobody knows what a dźwiedź is.
Exactly.
Which is okay. I can live with that. I mean, another mystery of the
There
universe.
is a word looking for something to describe.
fine. That's fine.
It's a spare word.
We can live with that then. Yeah, we can live
Yeah,
with that.
sometimes I made hodonik instead of huodonik.
Ah, you mean the soup?
Yes, but my pronunciation is bad, so it's going to be the word. Hodonik.
I'm glad you said chłodnik.
Hodonik.
Chłodnik.
Yeah, but as opposed to pavement.
Yes.
Mihoe wanted to describe a soup, but the word came out as pavement.
Chodnik.
Yes, because then
Instead
for
of
us, it's
Instead of
yeah.
hodnik.
Is that right? Is that what we're talking
Either
about?
that, either that or her soup is very thick.
Because the sidewalk, it's
Yeah.
made of cement.
Yeah.
The sidewalk is what? Chodnik
Hodnik.
Yeah.
and chłodnik
There's the soup.
with a w, with
Yes.
the L, with
Yeah,
a thing.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
Is that's
'Cause it's a
the
cool
difference,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So I talked to my Polish friends. I made hodonik, but she said, "No, you can't make. You can't make it." I said, "I did. You can't. I did." Because you know.
She thought you were out there working
Cue
with
the-
out on the street.
Yeah.
Lost it again.
If you lost it again, you're terrible. It's on your shoulder. It's on your shoulder. Just
It's
at the
on
cusp
my
of your shoulder. There you
Yeah,
are.
There it goes. Technical stuff. Just keep the camera on the other people, folks. Nobody has to see this horrible mess.
Why did this happen to
I
yourself?
don't know. I think my
Your
ear
ears are the
hole
wrong
is
shape.
rejecting. Is rejecting the.
Why?
I don't know. Mihoe, it's another mystery of the universe. Like
maybe-
niedźwiedź.
Especially for
But
somebody.
I want to talk about food.
Yes,
because
good.
You are a food expert. We all have, there's one thing there's two things we spend most of our life doing, Nick
Yeah,
and Mihoe. Can you guess what they are?
sleeping and eating.
Correct. And eating is really important.
Yes.
Because we spend our whole life looking for food to consume. And can you just show us what you got here?
Yeah.
Because we had a special day this week. It was called Fat Thursday.
Fat Thursday. Yes.
Twisty Czwartek. Twisty
Yes.
Czwartek.
Yeah.
Twisty
I
Czwartek.
also difficult.
Yeah. Twisty Czwartek. That means Fat Thursday. Do you have such a day? Or are you just fat every day in Japan?
Yes, every day.
Every day you're fat.
Yes.
Yeah, in America, every day we're huge.
I mean, it is
Yeah.
shocking when you go to America for the first time.
We're huge.
Seeing people walking down the street, they are huge.
Yeah. I mean,
No, really, it is.
you can't call it walking.
it
These
is
are
quite-
behemoths.
It is quite shocking. Seriously, I mean,
We're large people.
well, you're
Yeah.
getting larger.
We are
it's not
small.
good.
We are small.
I know the Japanese are very
It's
neat.
very compact.
You're compact. You're known for
Yeah.
And
being
the diet
neat.
is probably healthy with all that fish. You see, it's
You have
much
a lot
better
of
for you.
fish. And
But there are
everybody
other-
lives to be, 150 years old.
Exactly.
Yeah. Your parents, your great grandparents are like 140, right? Is that right?
I
Any
don't know.
sumo in the family? Any sumo wrestlers? No? None?
No,
No sumo? Samurai?
no.
None in the family. Tell us about ponchkis.
This one is a traditional road jump ponchki.
Can I take one?
Yes, this is a green tea ponchki. It's fusion of Japanese taste and Polish tradition.
Uh-huh. Nick?
Yeah, well,
Dig in. We got to do a taste.
This one is a bit
Mihoe?
is in a strange one, so don't take it.
What is the secret to a good ponchki?
I'll take this one.
I feel
thank
like
you.
Martha Stewart.
Yes.
We were talking about Martha Stewart earlier, off camera. What is the secret for a good ponchki?
With love.
A lot of love?
Yes.
You put that Eastern promise in there, right?
Yes.
Secret Eastern promise.
Yes.
This is very nice. Yeah, I like that. It's a good answer. Can we try these?
Yes.
And then see, I mean, we can eat them, right? They're not
Yeah.
just for show.
Yeah.
They're so perfect. They look like those things you put in your table for show.
Very good,
Thank you.
really.
Is it okay? Green
Yeah,
tea.
it's really good. What's that in there?
It's a green tea cream.
What kind of cream?
Green tea.
Green tea.
Green
Yeah.
tea, very Japanese, you see.
Yes.
Oh, so that's the mixture of Japanese
Yes,
and Polish
yes,
together.
Yes, yeah.
Well, that's just fantastic.
And
That
also
is
the
absolutely
green
beautiful.
tea liqueur.
Wow, you are talented. Are you married?
No?
Neither is he. Guys should exchange.
Exchange. Exchange.
Recipes.
You already know.
Yes.
He's he cooks as well.
Oh wow! We have to exchange recipe.
No, he cooks as well. He's been perfecting his various dishes lately. He's sending me pictures of the food. At least he doesn't post them on Facebook. Good for you.
No, I
Nicholas.
don't. No, I don't. I just send them to Selected.
But you can post this on. If you posted this on Facebook, I made this. These are my paczkis. I think that's a good
Actually, I
thing.
already posted. And also, I made a recipe in Japanese for Japanese people who want to make paczki.
So, if you want the recipe for paczkis, get in touch with Mihoe Sano on Facebook.
Yeah, I have a Facebook page.
You have a Facebook page?
Japon-
Just for Mihoe?
Yeah, no, Japonka w Polsce.
Japonka
W Polsce.
w Polsce.
Yeah, because of P, so it should be f, pronounced f.
Okay.
Japonka w Polsce.
W Polsce. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Stay tuned. We'll be back. We got to eat these paczkis, and then we got to eat all of them. So when in the next clip there will be no more paczkis.
But the studio will be bigger.
We'll be bigger. The next one will be with us lying on the table. Okay.
But at the
These are
time,
very
I
good.
try hoola-hoop. Mihasha.
Mihasha. That's your name when you write for the newspapers.
Not newspaper. It's
You write online.
magazine.
On what?
It's magazine, Japanese
A
magazine.
magazine, and you write for that. Do you also write online about?
Yeah, it is online.
And this is all about Poland, what you're writing.
Not all about it. Sometimes I write about Poland and for Japanese media, but it should be connected to something with Japan.
Okay.
Otherwise, Japanese, the leaders are Japanese. I read in Japanese.
Okay. And what do you write about Poland?
Before I wrote about how Polish people who run a business is related to Japan, and also I wrote about a Japanese festival in Poland, and also the popular ramen shop in Poland, or something like that.
Ramen is very popular.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
talking about food. We were eating paczkis in a previous installment, and you were talking about your family's tradition of sumo wrestling. We'll come back to that.
I didn't say.
You didn't?
No, that is your illusion.
What? I had dreamed that?
Yes.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah,
In
I think so.
In the interval, I dreamed that?
Yes, of course.
I
I
gotta
tell you,
stop
those
taking
paczki are
naps.
very powerful.
They are.
Oh, yes,
Incredible.
yes, it
Did you put some secret sake in this?
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's full of secret sake. So what do you find that are the most interesting subjects, all silliness aside? We'll get back to silliness in a little while. But what do you find are the most interesting things to write about Poland? Or what compels you to write about Poland?
Actually, I want to PR Poland to Japanese, company or Japanese people, consumers. But it has to be, kind of technique, because just I wrote about Poland. It's good. It's not so attractive for Japanese people. Has to be more in technique.
Okay, so how do you capture? I'd like to know this too. We could learn something here too, couldn't we?
We could.
How do you? I've already learned a lot, but how do you go about attracting people's attention, and getting them more interested in Poland? What are your techniques?
Because I know that how is the Japanese people, likes and Japanese people's needs, and I mix up.
Okay, so what do they like? What is some specific things that you do?
Japanese people likes, if they foreigner like Japanese.
So you say that Japan is popular in Poland?
Yes.
Yeah, but
this
it's
kind
true.
this kind of subject is Japanese people think, it's very impressive.
Okay, and what do Polish people like about Japan?
Yeah, I think the Polish people like Japan.
But what specifically do they like about Japan?
Before I asked you, I had an interview with some Polish people who run a business related to Japan, and they said Japan, for them, Japan is a kind of exotic. They don't have, it's far away from here.
Right.
So our culture is definitely different from European culture. So it's a kind of, exotic. That is one of the reasons, they said.
Japan is exotic, wouldn't you say, Nicholas?
Yeah, I've not been to Japan.
But it seems very exotic. I'd love to go to Japan. Wouldn't you like to go?
I would
or
like
not?
to go, yeah.
Yes?
I would like to go.
I'd love to go, and see what it's all about. But when you're... I know what I want to say. The films, Japanese films and art are very popular in Poland. And I think also Polish art and Polish, particularly poster art, and some films are very popular over time in Japan, in the post-war period, right?
Yeah. But I prefer Polish film.
You prefer Polish films to Japanese films?
Of course.
Why? Just...
Because for me, Japanese film is just, not so, interesting for me. Polish film is more, exotic or,
No, and I think I understand that. We find the things that we don't know, they seem to be very attractive, that we don't know about. I remember I used to watch a lot of foreign films. And curiously enough, when I was in college, I would go and hide in the library and watch films from particularly Kurosawa of the Japanese, and particularly Andrzej Wajda from the Polish films. There were others, but mostly those two. So I knew, I was fascinated by them, and I thought, oh, well, gosh, I'll never be sitting in a studio in Warsaw talking to a lady from Tokyo about Kurosawa with, Cary Grant.
Yes.
Accompanying
But you
us.
are, you see.
I know, it
Your
happens.
lifetime ambition has been realized.
It's just crazy, isn't it? Row, row, row your boat. Merrily down the stream. What's the last part?
Can't remember.
I can't remember either. If you remember that last line, please, in the comments, just write it. And so what is your most memorable moment? Your most, journalistic moment? Your most memorable moment in Poland? Is there something that happened that is extremely memorable to you? I forget.
You mean dramatic or just for normal thing in usual life or something?
Just, I can think of several things. For example, my first trip to Krakow, and then to the mountains, and then going on a wagon, and then getting out of the wagon and fainting near Morskie Oko, because after all the pollution. And maybe some of the vodka, the fresh air just knocked me out. I remember that as an intense memory. And then other things, interviewing people, things like that. But maybe you have some specific moment.
Yeah, I like Polish people still still having their own tradition. Like Wielkanoc, and they make
So this traditional days.
Yeah, traditional.
What is Wielkanoc?
It's Easter.
It's Easter.
Easter Sunday.
It's Easter to us. Yeah.
And
Easter Sunday.
Well, technically yes, but Easter.
Yeah. When maybe first year of here and first Easter of here, not second Easter. Yeah, whatever. I saw the young boy who looks like hey oh or something like that. It's like hip hop
Hip hop person.
But
Hip hopster.
he had a Easter basket.
Yeah. That made you laugh?
Yes.
Because even though if you're a tough guy, if your mother tells you to go down to the church with the basket, you got to wear your chains and your tattoos.
Not
Mom
like that.
said you
Not
gotta go
like
leave the
that.
basket.
Not so much. But like
Not so much.
But he's a typical young guy.
Yeah. So tradition, because Poland is a traditional country.
It is.
This is something I think it really makes it stand out. And perhaps when we come back in the next installment, we'll talk about some traditions in Poland. The hula hoop is not one of those. We've got to talk about the hula hoop as well. So in the next edition, we will talk about some Polish traditions. And maybe we can tack on a little hula hoop on the end. What do you think?
Okay.
Okay, you have films, so we'll put in some films of the hula hoop. Okay, for those of who didn't see you hula hooping on our Wilanów special Poland Daily Travel edition. Have you learned anything, Nick, in this series of episodes? What stands out in your mind?
Well, what's the pączki, in fact. The combination of pączki, the green tea pączki, because that's actually, that is a revelation and something I'd never encountered before.
Green tea pączki.
The green tea pączki. I mean, that is a fantastic idea. Fusion cuisine at its best.
Yeah.
And I didn't try one of these other ones. Did you try the?
Yeah, they're very good. Just taste like taste authentic. The authentic pączki taste.
Yeah, this one
Authentic pączki taste, made with Japanese
skill.
Love.
Love, yes.
She said
That's
love
a secret ingredient, love. I think there's a secret ingredient in all cooking, really.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So we were talking also, we said we were going to talk a little bit about tradition in Poland, and I guess what traditions stick out in both of your minds? Just give me one each to start off. What's the main tradition? We talked about Easter and baskets and things like that, and the family stuff that goes with that. What sticks out in your mind as a tradition in Poland, which is different from Japan, Mihoe?
Vigilia. Yeah, Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. How is that different?
In Japan, it's more like a Christmas Eve. It's more like for couple.
Do you have Santa Claus in Japan?
Yeah, but we have it's more commercial one.
What? More commercial? Yeah,
Yes.
it's not the real, because
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
Shintoism is different religion.
Actually, Buddhism, but we
Buddhism,
have no religion.
Yeah. Are you a Buddhist?
Yeah, officially.
Officially. Yeah.
Officially, yeah.
You know what to do. Yeah. And so you would say Christmas Eve is one of the traditions. What about Christmas Eve? I know something that comes to my mind. Christmas Eve is you have to eat 2 meals or 3 meals, or every time you go to a different place, you have to eat again.
Well, let's assume you go to a different place. I mean, most people, I think, stay in one place, don't they? But
I
you
don't know.
you do lay an
I
extra
guess.
place in case you have a visitor. There's always one empty place at the table if it's traditionally laid out,
Yeah.
and umpteen courses, of course.
What tradition sticks out in your mind besides Christmas
Well,
Eve?
not so much a dream, but I think what I think is remarkable in Poland is there's still and as a Catholic, although I'm from England, as a Catholic is the role of the church in Poland. And when you walk down the street at midday and you hear the Angelus bell ringing out, something you no longer hear in England, I mean, that's actually quite nice.
What does that mean, the Angelus?
Well, it's summoning people to say the Angelus prayer.
Right,
Essentially.
okay.
But if you listen carefully at midday, you'll hear the church bells ringing for the Angelus.
Right.
Which is something which seems to have died out in many other parts of Europe.
Not in England anymore?
Not in England anymore.
It
no.
used to be.
It used to be. Well,
Yeah.
because England was originally, of course, a Catholic country.
Of course, in America, the bells are ringing all the time.
Yes, exactly. And because in England they have different ringing bells for the sake of ringing bells. Of course, that's quite a thing in England. Which
Yeah. So the religious nature of Poland.
I think the prominence,
important.
yes, the prominence of religion in Poland, and the processions at various times in the ecclesiastical year, which take place.
Of course, the Pope. I mean, yeah.
Because I had
One of the
Catholic,
transformational popes.
Catholic Pope in recent
At the
memory.
right time.
At the right time.
For everyone was John Paul
I think
II.
it's really, if you had to sum it up, it's still the importance or the prominence of family life, which is very valuable. And
I think that's
it gives an
important, yeah.
identity to the country, and it gives an identity to people's lives. And I know it's become very popular in the modern world to mock these sorts of traditions because modern man somehow knows better than his ancestors did, which I think we find is increasingly not actually the case.
Mm-hmm.
And in Poland, they've been able to keep that. And what it means is, and in simple terms, or one of the advantages of that is, you can be walking around Warsaw late at night as a woman on your own, using public transport or whatever, and you're completely unmolested, you're completely free, there's no aggression, there's no sense of danger. And I've spoken to women about this, and that's what they think one of the great things about Warsaw. But then they visit other European capital cities.
It's not the case in Germany.
No, it's not the case in London. It's not
the case in London, for
Not the
sure.
case in Paris.
Yeah.
I think the way Poland has been able to maintain so far this sort of community in the wider sense. I mean,
That's the homogeneity.
Exactly.
That's the thing I was going to throw out, which I think this general homogeneity, homogeneous society, means that people share characteristics. They're all pretty similar. So it's more like one big family, which I think explains a lot.
They do.
Yeah.
Well, because they're very, which is something which Poland would have in keeping with Japan, of course. Japan is a very homogenic society as well. So I mean,
Also, yeah,
so
very much so.
that's probably another reason why Mihoe finds here so actually agreeable, because it's a very similar sort of.
In this sense, yeah. And also Japan is very traditional.
Actually,
Not so much anymore?
Not so much anymore, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's changed. I've seen some crazy stuff on YouTube from Japanese television shows.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing? Do you think?
Not sure.
Yeah, I
It
think
is a bit complicated because it's not traditional anymore, but not so innovative very much. So it's just but yeah, we're not traditional, but we don't like to change. We are afraid of changing. So, but it's a bit more complicated.
So you have a lot of superficial. My view of Japan could be totally wrong because I've never been there. But just reading history and reading what happens in Japan these days and seeing things online, is that it's still quite a traditional society with a superficial layer.
Actually, for me, I think it's not
Of different
really traditional. It's just we don't like changing. Just keeps the old way, but it's different from traditional.
Is a lot of change always a good thing?
No.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
No, of course, it's not a good thing. I mean,
I don't like it either. Being a historian
you
by
can
trade,
change,
I don't like it at
if you've
all.
got something positive to change
If it's
something
too much,
for.
yeah.
But change for the sake of change, which is the society
the
we seem
point.
to live in now, leaves people confused and ill at ease, and that is what causes tension and general unhappiness. I mean, was it Edmund Burke who said tradition is the vote we give to those who predeceased us? I mean, I think
Correct.
that's very valuable. Tradition is tradition for a reason, because once upon a time people did things in a certain way and it worked, so there was no reason to change it.
Burke being the great,
Being the great philosopher of the
18th century British politics.
philosopher, yes. Taken to be the sort of father of conservative philosophy, although because he
The original Tory, if you will.
although politically I think he always maintained he was a Whig rather than a Tory, but that's a slightly different issue. But yes, he is the great person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are not traditional, but we are conservative. Japanese people.
Conservative, yeah. And Poland, I think, is basically conservative,
Yes.
too. And where I come from is also the South United States, basically a conservative place. We like our traditions, we like our manners, and we like to go to church or have the chance to go to church, and we don't like people telling us there's no God.
No, exactly.
We don't enjoy that.
No.
Yeah. Thanks for coming back after the bumper, by the way, folks. We continue with this episode of There's a Will. Listen, tradition we were talking about previously is something that's inescapable in Poland, but it's also something that people seem to discount these days. I don't understand it.
I don't understand it either. There seems to be no good reason most of the time.
Yeah, it's just...
And it's not as if they're saying...
It's not new, so let's get rid of it.
Yes, but it's not as if when they get rid of it, they've actually increased the sum total of human happiness. In fact, quite the reverse. We have a lot of people now who seem very unhappy and sort of slightly rootless.
Rootless.
And they don't know.
Confused. Yeah.
But they think there's a tradition, let's chop it down. And then, but we've put nothing in its place of any value. And I think this is leading to a lot of unhappy people, actually. And all the stresses we see in society, because people are sort of, they're losing their sense of belonging to something or being part of a continuing story. And I think that this is, I dare one say it, a particularly sort of left-wing approach to life. Let's destroy the tradition, or let's break down barriers. Or let's
extreme left-wing,
Yes.
I mean, is definitely like this. I was reading an article that says nowadays the difference, the fight is really between the bigots And, this is the shorthand. The bigots, I guess it would be people like you and me anyway,
of course, yes.
not Mihoe. But, and the totalitarians. Well, I don't think you're a totalitarian, are you?
What?
You're not a yeah, never mind. Exactly.
Except, but the point is, we're only bigots in their eyes, and because we're actually behaving in a way which people have behaved in for a long time.
You're discerning. You make choices.
Exactly.
And you say, I prefer this, and I don't like that, and I don't think that's right. You're being discerning, and I think being discerning is considered being prejudiced now.
Yes, which is not necessarily the case at all.
Well, no, of course not. They're very different things. I mean, how do you know what you like if you don't make choices
Exactly.
in life? But when we were talking about, as I said, traditions.
Yeah.
Are there other things? I mean, you've been staying in Poland how long now?
Nearly 3 years.
Nearly 3 years. What is keeping you here?
Still, I like here, and also probably the people, Polish people.
The Polish people.
Yeah.
What do you like about Poland and Polish people? Or love, perhaps you love it.
Yes, kocham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kocham means I love. I love.
Because I'm feeling I can be more natural. I can be by myself here. Because in Japan, it's more like has to be follow the society rule. I has to.
Well, see, it is still very traditional.
Exactly.
So there's this real contradiction in Japanese society between this superficial, this stylish change, and then this deep-rooted role playing, isn't there? Yeah.
I think the Polish people are traditional, but on the other hand, they can accept new way. For example, when I made ponchki in Japan, at that time I was a beginner Poland lover. So just my ponchki, I checked the recipe of ponchki by YouTube, but I don't know it is okay or not okay.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons I made a fusion. But because I can't make exactly same as babchas.
Like babcia,
Like babcia.
which means grandma.
Yes. So I try to make my way ponchki. So if it's Japan, it's not very acceptable. But Polish people love it. Oh, it is an interesting concept or something like that. So
we have to do a cooking session with you when we expand our programming. You must come back. We'll do some cooking spots with you. I hope. We'll speak to the producer about that. That could be fun. I've got to get to this because, I mean, I think this is just one of the most hilarious things and unique things. We need a sword swallower and a fire, someone who dances with fire, and a juggler, one-arm juggler or something like that. We need some other extraordinary people.
You a juggler?
No, I said a one-arm juggler.
Yeah,
I can juggle a little bit.
I'd give my right arm to be ambidextrous.
You give your right arm to be ambidextrous. Yes, I've heard you say that.
Yeah.
And good luck to that.
You can juggling by ponchki. With
What?
ponchki. You can juggling with ponchki.
You can juggle with ponchki. That's right. They're just about the right size. Tennis balls, tennis balls are good. Yeah. This is one of the hula hoops that you made, right?
Yes.
What got you? And you're very good at this. I got to say, I'm sorry that we can't show you here in the studio. And one day we'll have a studio arrangement where we can do all kinds of crazy things. We'll bring in bear cubs and things like that, or niedźwiedź cubs. And but anyway, how did you? Here, just hold it.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in hula hooping?
It was, when I went to the sports gym in Tokyo, there was a lesson started, fluff hoop class. Yeah.
You just went for lessons like yoga instead of yoga.
Yes.
You did hula hooping.
Yeah.
I mean, did you dream as a girl you wanted to be a cheerleader or something?
No. It's just it's just for fun because it's unusual.
Yeah.
And also then the instructor, she is from Australia. She's very pretty and very attractive, and she does very exciting movement.
So you said, "Oh, I'd like to be skilled and look nice like she does." Yeah. Well, I must say you look very beautiful when you're doing your hula hoop. You haven't seen this, but...
I've seen on your program. I have actually seen...
Did you see that one?
But I've seen Mihoe hula hooping in live as well. And
Yeah, I can do it.
various social various social events.
We can't capture it on film. That's the problem. Yeah. I mean,
So
would love
I
for
have
you
seen
to-
it. I have seen it live.
Yeah.
Her hula hooping, where she was trying to encourage other people to have a go, and nobody could do it as well as she could do.
Where was this?
It was one evening of a function. We were at some social gathering.
No, the thing I like about it is Mihoe is just perfectly hula hooping and just talking to you while she's there. She's just talking, going, yes, and how are you today? And she's just hula hooping. It's hilarious.
And also, it is good for making new friends.
Oh yeah, you just go to the park and start hula hooping.
Yes, yeah,
people
park
gather.
or-
around.
yes.
You should put a hat down.
You get some money.
Yeah,
little
but I
filthy
think
money, some
to do
dirty
that,
cash.
to do that, I need a work permit.
You need a what?
Work permit.
You need a work permit to,
Yeah, to do-
To
bus?
beg, yeah, probably.
I think so.
Well, it's another of these funny Polish traditions, isn't it? Everything requires a piece of paper with a stamp on it
Yes.
to be official.
I
Absolutely.
think there's plenty of people who busk without permission.
Well, of course.
I don't think they have work permits. I didn't see anyone
I think
going up.
that was a joke, I suspect.
That was a joke. Was that a joke?
But I think
Sorry,
I
I'm
need
being
it.
very German.
Yes.
I think I need it.
Was that a joke? Yeah.
It's not joke,
Yes,
but it sounds like joke.
Could you please
That's-
could you please label jokes in advance so you know when to laugh?
Yes. No funny Japanese tricks. And and you made these. How do you make one of these?
I did a water pipe, and it's called a collapsible hula hoop. Just open. Voilà.
Oh, right. You see.
You're ready to go. And I was hoping
Yes, I
that I
am.
was going to get you to do some hula hooping.
Yes, well, of course, that's why we...
Because I'm a professional hula hooper.
course
It
you
would
are.
be no fun to watch me.
No, it wouldn't.
But to watch you learning would be
great.
hilarious.
It would be great. And that's why we chose the studio
Absolutely.
carefully.
Yeah, it would be hilarious. But you're probably behind this. We should have used the gymnasium studio.
Yes, exactly.
You could have
Yeah,
showed
yeah,
off your
I will, yeah.
vaulting and your parallel bar skills.
Oh, my falling downstairs skills.
Yes, your falling downstairs skills. He's very good. He's the champion at falling down the stairs.
Wow.
I love this, how you're framing yourself with this, with your hula hoop.
Yeah.
And how long have you been hula hooping?
Around 10 years.
About 10 years. Yeah.
But that's hobby.
Yeah. And does it keep you in shape?
Yes.
It keeps you in shape.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, very good.
Yeah, good for exercise.
Fantastic. Listen, folks, this has been There's a Will. Look, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing Ponchkis. I hope you enjoyed seeing Hula Hoop. We're going to put some films in. You're going to get a look at Mihoe, who was fantastic. Stay tuned for that. You're going to want to see her hula hooping. And I'm sorry that you didn't get to see Nicholas showing off his amazing hip skills, but perhaps another time.
Yeah.
You're not really dressed for it, but you could have taken the coat off.
Yeah, no, but this, I find dressing like this is convenient. I got pockets to put things in.
Yeah, but you could have taken the coat off.
I could have taken. I could have taken. I could have made a rare concession.
Could have left the tie on.
Taken the
Still
coat
would
off
have been
on,
okay.
on television. I mean, it's never happened yet, but I could do it.
Yeah.
It's just for you.
Well, perhaps in a future.
And can I just
occasion.
say it? I'm just admiring your new glasses, because I know you've had some correspondence on the last program from Phil from Idaho.
Phil from Idaho.
He had
You're
something
from
to say
Idaho?
about your
Yeah,
glasses.
this guy from Idaho has been heckling me. He said my glasses were heavy. So listen, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I can now ask people to
Judge for themselves.
To judge for themselves. These, okay, just a show of hands in the audience. A show of hands, if you like these glasses more, or these. What do you think? Too heavy? Too heavy? Gosh, I can really see you now.
Yeah.
These are my reading glasses. I can do.
Well, they
Good
sort of
Lord.
suit you. That's
It's you. I thought with two different people.
that's more the Michael Caine look.
Oh.
My name is Michael Caine.
Caine, yeah.
Or these.
That's more.
Just a show of hands.
That's more the Bono look, isn't it?
I think
Yeah.
it's pretty even.
I think I
out
prefer
there.
you as Michael Caine,
The
actually.
audience
Having
is
said
pretty
that.
even. Yeah. You think you
Yeah, I
prefer
th-
Michael Caine?
I will have to tell Phil from Idaho it was a conscious decision.
Okay. I'm going to come back to this so I can actually see you both. Ah, Mihoe, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You're a doll. You're a lovely lady, and a wonderful guest. Thank you very much for
Thank you
being
very
with us, Nicholas.
Thank you,
As
William.
usual, thank
Always
you,
a
sir.
pleasure.
Yep. And not our first rodeo, as we say.
As you say.
Yeah, that's it for There's a Will. Thank you for watching, and excuse the heavy glasses.